district leaders, distinguished Toastmasters, guests, and most of all, our contestants. Welcome to our District 81 International Speech Contest 2022. I am Contest Coordinator, Deborah Bavigims. I'm kindly asking you to have your mics remain muted and your cameras off until it is your turn to speak. Notwithstanding, it is my pleasure to invite our contest chair and assistant contest chair for the International Speech Contest to the virtual lectern, distinguished Toastmaster Patrick Laurent and distinguished Toastmaster Venicia Brooks, respectively, who will lead us through our District 81 International Speech Contest 2022. You're muted. You're muted.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Deborah. It's a pleasure for me to manage this context with my assistant, Venicia Brooks. It will be a pleasure. Welcome to the International Speech Contest of District 81. In a few minutes, you will hear the speakers who are competing to win the District 81 International Speech Contest and who will go forward to compete in the Region 8 Speech Contest. All contestants have confirmed their eligibility in writing. The rules have been reviewed with the chief judge and contestant. The contestants have been informed of the location of type of the timing signal. Each contestant will present a 5 to 7 minute speech on a subject of their choice. The contestants have drawn the speaking order with each as follows. Contestant number 1, Ingrid Armstrong Walcott. Contestant number 2, Devosh Blake. Contestant number 3, Lennox Seeley. Contestant number 4, Deidra Anastasia Richardson. Jerusha Manuel. Contestant number 6, Claudine Bobon. Contestant number 7, Shakira Hopkinson. Contestant number 8, Lizzy Santiago. Contestant number 9, Jefferson Rosalia. Contestant number 10, Laura Pierre-Louis. Contestant number 11, Finelli Joseph. I will introduce each contestant by announcing the name and speech title. At that time, please help me welcome for now our contest master, Venicia Brooks. Toastmaster Venicia Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair. I'm happy to be sharing in this office with you this evening. At this point in time, I am pleased to inform you that our Chief Judge for the contest this evening is Distinguished Toastmaster Beverly Paris. Madam Chief Judge, are we ready to proceed?
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair. All the judges have been briefed. All are eligible to judge, and the other functionaries too have been briefed and are ready for this contest to begin.
Mr. Contest Chair.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Brooks. Now it's time to start the international speech contest. I would like to know if all contestants for the session are there. If yes, we can start the contest. Toastmaster Brooks, would you like to introduce the first contestant?
Our first contestant this evening is Ingrid Armstrong Walcott. gas problem. Gas problem, Ingrid Armstrong Walcott.
No, Doc, you must be joking. I came to you because I have gas or something. Check that test again. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests. 16 years ago this May, I went to the gynecologist for a pap smear. During the course of our conversation, I mentioned to him that my monthly visitor was behaving strangely and asked for some advice in this regard. He looked up from his writing and said to me that because of my amply proportioned body, I would always have problems with irregular periods. I decided from that day that I was going to do everything I could to address my fitness issues with a view to solving my problem with irregularity. I started a routine of diet and exercise, and believe it or not, weight loss took place. I benefited from better fitting clothes and generally feeling healthier. The only problem I appeared to have was occasional bouts of gas. As I cast my mind back to that time, I remember that the doctor said to me that the pap smear was clear. There were no issues. And I had a grand time doing all kinds of outdoor activities. I was running and hiking and even playing netball. That year, I, Ingrid Armstrong Walcott, represented Barbados at a Western Hemisphere workshop for leaders. That summer, I attended a Brownie camp at Princess Margaret Secondary School. When I was at that camp, I walked 5 kilometers to the King George V Memorial Park, ran around with the Brownies all day, and then walked back to the school the evening. On that day, I walked 10 kilometers. Believe me, that day, the gas didn't bother me at all. As a matter of fact, I slept better than I had slept for a long time. Indeed, I was glad for the advice the doctor had given me, as it had done me well. But as the summer came to a close and I got ready for back to school, this gas came back like never before. I drank so much tea. I drank Lipton. I drank Tetley. I drank ginger. Even with all my grandmother's remedies, this gas problem persisted. I decided that I was going to take the bull by the horns and go to a local doctor in my neighborhood. I had to find some solution for this gas problem. I told him about the bloating and the gas, and I even told him what the gynecologist had said previously. He nodded his head and told me he needed some urine for his regular in-office tests. Imagine my shock and disbelief when he told me that I was pregnant. Pregnant! Pregnant! You must be mad! I told him that his test was faulty. He looked at me full in my face and asked me if I had been in the rain in recent times without an umbrella. My heart sank. He gave me a letter for an ultrasound, which proved the doctor was right. My gas was growing comfortably. I was 5 months along. Now, this is not the only time that I was misdiagnosed by a medical professional. No, on another occasion, a doctor told me that I had circulatory issues. These doctors only see an overweight patient. They don't see the voluptuous woman in front of them. This voluptuous woman is very careful with prognoses from doctors because, according to them, everything is a weight issue. So, you need to exercise regularly, yes. You must drink your water, yes. And you must eat your vegetables. And of course, you must have those checkups. But know yourself. Know the signs that your body will give you to let you know when something is wrong. Our medical professionals mean well, but they don't always get it right. Live your life. Live it to the full. And if you are lucky like me, you will call the baby Aaron or Ariel, as my friends and family thought I should do, because I thought I had hair. And just in case you were wondering, the gas is now outside of my body and goes by the name Sherilyn Renee Armstrong, contest chairman.
We will now have 1 minute of silence to allow the judges to mark their ballot. Timer, please let me know when the time has elapsed.
One minute is up. Thank you. Our contestant number 2. Contestant number 2, Tevosh Blake. Are we ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you see the timer?
Yes, I'm seeing the timer.
Okay, no problem. Contestant number 2, Tevosh Blake. The speech of title is Disconnect to Reconnect. Disconnect to reconnect. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Blake.
Hey, you. Yes, you. When was the last time you spent some quality time with your family? When last have you had a genuinely deep conversation with a friend? I can bet it's been a while. After all, people these days, both young and old, have become so immersed in playing video or mobile games, trending videos on social media, music screaming from their headphones, or anything that involves staring at a screen for several hours. One might even ask, Tavon, what is sense in physically meeting when we can send a text message, video chat, or see each other daily on social media? In fact, Maria Loveland, a journalist and expert in internet culture, shared in an article published by Insider in 2018 that 61% of US adults and teens prefer virtual communication than face-to-face interaction. And this is long before social distancing became a thing. Don't get me wrong though, I have nothing against social media as it connects us with people all over the world and provides easy access to information. The problem is we've become so attached and devoted to keeping up with everything that's happening online. So busy keeping up with the lives of people who don't even know or care about us. So busy keeping up with what or who's trending. Sadly, we've become so busy staying virtually connected that we neglect the importance of physically and emotionally connecting with ourselves, the people closest to us, and our environment. We must disconnect so that we can reconnect with the people and things in our lives that matter. And by disconnect, I mean to separate oneself from all the devices capable of absorbing our time and attention, even just for a while, to appreciate the people and things around us. I see a sudden shift in emotions on your faces. I know the feeling because I was in the same situation, but I have discovered a remedy. And I'm going to share it with you because it's time we all disconnect to reconnect. First, we must establish how much time we currently spend on our devices and set a goal to reduce that time daily. Be honest. Have you ever stopped to think about how often you use your cell phone daily? You might not even notice, but this is most people first thing in the morning and last thing before bed. Checking notifications, not to mention throughout the day. Let me further put things into perspective. Senior analyst Tina Lu, who has more than 14 years of experience in the technology industry, shared in an article published by Counterpoint in 2017 that 50% of smartphone users spend between 3 and 7 hours daily on their smartphones. Did you know that modern smartphones measure overall usage time? Most will also show the time spent on individual apps. Knowing this information, you can reduce the time spent on your smartphones by deleting the apps with the largest usage time. Even if those apps are Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, I'm sorry, they have to go. We must disconnect to reconnect. Secondly, simply do alternative activities. We mostly use our mobile devices when we're bored. Am I right? In those times, instead of giving into the temptation of scrolling, texting, or gaming, use that time to be present with your family and create long-lasting memories with them. Use that time to genuinely reconnect with the people you love. Use that time to explore your creativity. Do something you've never done before. Use that time to reconnect with yourself, your goals, or just to look around you and appreciate the beauties of nature and this precious gift called life. It might seem like a lot of things to do in what appears to be not much time, but you'd be surprised of how huge the gap is between the time you start scrolling and the time you realize you've wasted several hours. It's time to disconnect, to reconnect. It's time to express to the people in your life what they mean to you with actual emotions and not some emojis. Because life, it's like the sand in an hourglass. We don't know how much sand is left in the top of ours, nor in the ones of the people we love. I know what it's like to be attached to one smartphone, but this remedy helped me to reconnect with the people and things in my life that matter. So I challenge you today, take action. Is it video games, smartphone, social media? What do you need to disconnect from to reconnect with who and what really matters?
One minute for the judge. Timer, let me know when the time is over.
Will do.
I will now invite Toastmaster Lennox to please turn on your camera and your microphone.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Contest Chair.
Are you?
My
Yes,
camera and microphone are on.
Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can see the timer.
Lennox Sealy, right, wrong, and responsibilities. Right, wrong, and responsibilities, Lennox Sealy.
Long before there was Uncle Google, there was Uncle Phone Book. If my mother wanted to establish contact with someone, she would say in a most gentle manner, "Son, get me the number for Ms. So-and-so from the phone book." One day, she asked me to get the number for a Mrs. Wanda Wright. Little did I know that that simple request would change the way I view others in my life and allow me to invent a new word in the English language. Mr. Contest Chair, executives of the various Toastmasters clubs, fellow Toastmasters, and welcomed guests. Yes, there I was, a boy of 7 years old, flipping through the phone book under the section R, looking for Mrs. Wright. I could not find it. After a while, I turned to my mother and I said, "Mom, there are no Wrights in the phone book." She looked at me and said, "Did you look under W?" I said to myself, W? Who would put a W in front of an R to fool a little boy like me? How was I supposed to pronounce that? Were? I started to wonder then, was there a W in front of wrong as well? Curiously enough, just above the shelf where the phone book was kept was the Webster's Dictionary. So I searched the dictionary, and there it was again, a W in front of wrong. At that moment, I decided that at some time in my life, I am going to right this wrong. As I matured, I realized the issue of right and wrong was at the center of much of human endeavor, I decided to try to understand a little more what's right and what's wrong. First, I took on right. When is one right? Certainly, when you believe something and those around you believe it. If it comes to controversial matters like gender, religion, or politics, of course, it doesn't matter what history says, what the science says, or what the evidence shows. You are right and everybody else is wrong. I said, wow. Okay. I then started to search for what is wrong. I was stumped. I could not figure out what was wrong. I said to myself, how come everybody is always right? That it seems to me. Then if everybody is always right, who is wrong? The revelation came many days later in the concept of free will. I realized that we as human beings have been given the choice to believe what we think is right and what we think is wrong. But with freedom of choice comes responsibility. And as that word resonated, responsibility, it became responsibility. I said, yes, Mr. Webster, I finally got you. You fooled a little boy of 7 years old by placing a W in front of Mrs. Wright's name. But no, I got you. W instead of R in responsibility will make a word called responsibility. And that word will mean the willingness to consider the rights of others by considering also our own rights. Yes, Mr. Webster, I know you have a dictionary of over 470,000 words, but this one word will make a difference. You see, we often trample on the rights of others unknowingly by only considering our own rights. Imagine you out there in the audience. You can change your relationship with your children. The son is cutting and pasting the homework. Is he wrong? The boss is insisting on standards. Is he wrong? Or that neighbor is considering and asking you to cut the branch of that fruit tree that you love so much. Is he wrong? Fellow Toastmasters, the word of the day is responsibilities. Not responsibilities, but responsibilities. Because imagine what we can do. We can save the planet from climate change. Are you recycling? We can reduce the amount of petty crime. Are you in a charitable organization? We can avoid the spectra of war by appealing to our leaders, and that's a W we don't need. Ladies and gentlemen, as I speak with you this evening, I am saying and appealing to every one of you to accept your responsibilities. Think of others whenever you think of yourself. And imagine what that can do. Each time you think of my, ask yourself why. And each time you think of me, think of we. After all, a W is simply an M turned upside down. Mr. Contest Chair.
We will now have 1 minute of silence in order to allow our judges to mark their ballots.
Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Richardson. Are you there? Toastmaster Richardson, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, could you open your camera and your microphone?
They are.
Do you see the timer?
No. Yes, I can see the timer.
Okay, correct. Contestant number 4, Anastasia Richardson. The speech title, The Cheerleader. The Cheerleader. Contestant number 4, Anastasia Richardson, The Cheerleader.
Never would I made it. Never could I make it. The synergy of the cheerleader influenced the event's outcome. Can you think of a time when the cheerleader was applauding for you? Go, friend, go. And because of the cheerleaders cheering for you, you were able to overcome your situation. Contest chair and friends. It was 2 weeks before my son's delivery date when I felt a sharp shooting pain in my abdomen. I said to my husband, Clive, I am having contractions. Immediately, he rushed me to the hospital. When we got to the hospital, I spoke to Nurse Brown. She recorded my information and took me to triage number 2. She examined me and connected me to the cardiotograph machine. As she monitored my contractions and observed my baby's heart rate, I realized she looked disturbed. 10 minutes later, she left the room and returned with Nurse Maz. She showed her something on the monitor. Afterward, Nurse Maz left the room. Then I heard, paging Dr. Bill, paging Dr. Bill, Dr. Bill to triage 2, code blue, code blue, code blue. Shortly after, Dr. Bill came into the room. He walked over to Nurse Brown. She pointed to the monitor and showed him an image. He printed it, looked at it intently. He signaled to her. Then he showed her something. He glanced across at me. He looked again. And then he proceeded in my direction. He came over to my bedside and he said, Mr. and Mrs. Richardson, it does not look like the little guy is breathing. It seems like he's having some breathing problems. Your son died. I am sorry for your loss. Friends, that news struck me like lightning. My thoughts melted and my emotions exploded. Think about it. I've been to the doctor. I rested. I drank my water. I took my medication, my vitamin. I did all that I was told to do. But then I was told my son died. Plans shattered, hope dispersed, and my joy diminished. My courage seeped to the ground. Automatically, my husband, the cheerleader, rose with the strength of an ox, and he carried me like a towboat, hauling a loaded batch across the sea. His strength, his courage is what helped me. And the doctors were able to help me to deliver my baby. Fellow Toastmasters, I am grateful for the cheerleader, his words of encouragement, his prayers, his affirmation. In times of crisis, think about that day, that challenging situation. Would you have liked to have a cheerleader? Someone who can encourage you, someone who would say to you, you can make it. This situation is temporary. It's going to change. Your situation would not be this way all the time. It's going to get better. My friends, I am confident that you are valuable. And because you are valuable, I am going to cheer for you. Go, friend, go. Go, friend, go. Go, friend, go. Contest chair.
1 minute the silence for the judges. Timer, let us know when the time is over.
Will do.
Thank you. Toastmaster book.
Contestant number 5, Jerusha Manuela. Can you please turn on your camera and unmute your mic? Can you see the timer?
I can see it, but I cannot pin it. Oh God. Shall I pin it or should I do not pin it? Because I can't pin it.
But can you see the timer?
Yes, I can. Because I'm having the gallery view.
Okay, timer, you are on green. Are you ready, Jerusha?
Yes.
Jerusha Manuela, 3 things. 3 things, Jerusha Manuela.
3 things. 1, 2, 3. Are you ready? Ready for what? Ready to listen to my speech, which is
going to be all about three things. Those three things are the most important three things in life in order to be happy. I know that you already know what I am going to talk about. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, let it sink in and try to appreciate those three things even more in life. 1 is health, 2 is time, and 3, of course, it's all about the money. It's all about the money, money, money. We all need the money, money, money in order to be happy. I'll be analyzing those three things from two perspectives, which are the perspective of Toastmasters and family. Starting it up with the first one, which is all about health. Looking at health from the perspective of Toastmaster, I must say that if we were not healthy enough today, we could not be able to enjoy this dynamic speech contest. We will be really sick at home and wish like, I wish that I was healthy enough. So because it ain't just a area contest, nor it's just a club contest, not even just a division contest, but it's a district contest. So that your healthiness does affect your happiness. Looking at health from the perspective of family, I must say that whenever we are healthy enough, we be enjoying our life, dancing and singing like, we are family, hey, hey, woo! While we keeping in mind like, whoa, 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 give me 2, bro, because we do not want to be infected with any type of viruses such as COVID-19 nowadays. Because we know that if we are the ones bringing home COVID-19, we're gonna be labeled. They're gonna be like, it's your fault. You should have known better. You felt it really deep inside. So you're gonna be really sad, like, oh my God, what have I done? Just try to stay healthy in order to be healthy enough to be enjoying the most of your time with your family. That's when I move on to the second and third most important things in life, which are all about time and, of course, money. I've analyzed it both simultaneously from the perspective of Toastmasters and then family. Looking at time and money from the perspective of Toastmaster, I must say we as Toastmasters, the most of the time, we invest our money and time in Toastmaster by doing any type of task in order to become a better person, for which we will end up being happy and we will receive some money. Do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying that by doing any type of task in Toastmaster we get paid, but for those skills we acquire to become better communicators and leaders in our community, we will get any payment for any type of companies that will be in need of those skills. Looking at time and money from the perspective of family, I must say that the most of the time, we as human beings, we all have been there once upon a time, like, oh my God, please let me win the lottery. If you let me win the lottery, I promise you I'll be the happiest person on earth. We've been doing this, I've been doing that with a lot of promises. But let's keep it real in between us. I mean, the probability of winning the lottery is really low. So we as human beings tend to be focused on those things that might not be the most important things, such as work. We as human beings should be focusing sometimes like, oh my God, I need work, work, work. Why? Because I need the money. While our health is becoming less and less and less. Sometimes we even hate our job. I just hate my job, but I still work and work and work. Why? For the money to be happy. While our relationship with our family is becoming less and less and less. So is it really what you want? Do not misunderstand me. Concluding, I must say that those three things are the most important three things in life in order to be happy. But try to balance it out. You need to be healthy enough in order to have a bunch of time to make and spend some money. Because if you're not healthy enough, you cannot make neither spend any type of money. 1, all that penalty required is health. 2 is your time. And of course, money. It's all about the money, money, money. We all need the money, money, money in order to be happy. So are you ready? Ready for what? Ready to listen again to our dynamic chair.
We will now have 1 minute of silence in order for the judges to mark their scores. Timer, please indicate once the minute has elapsed. Thank you.
Will do. Time is up.
Contestant number 6, Claudine Beaubois, are you there? Claudine Beaubois, Toastmaster Beaubois. Toastmaster Beaubois.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you are ready. Okay.
Yes.
Do you see the timer?
Yes, I
Okay. Contestant number 6, Claudine Beaubois. I made it. I made it. Contestant number 6, Claudine Beaubois. I made it.
I can feel the sun on my feet, the rocks underneath my feet. The leaves are rustling all around me. As I pass by, they are brushing against my skin. I can hear heavy breathing as the people around are making an effort to walk by briskly, trying not to get left behind. The scent of the earth is intoxicating. I love it here. I feel one with nature. I kept walking. My breathing gets heavier and heavier as the hill gets steeper and steeper. My feet started to feel heavy. Before, they were light as feather, but now they feel like 2 big bags of yams. The sun, once warm and welcoming on my skin, felt harsh and unbearable. Feels like a fiery furnace. Oh my God, I cannot take this heat. The hill was beautiful and majestic, felt threatening and steeper than I imagined. Oh, it's getting hotter and hotter. What just happened? I was enjoying myself. basking in nature and enjoying my walk with my fellow hikers. And then the realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh, I am afraid of heights. I can feel my panic rising, creeping up on me. Hysteria coming at me. I can hear the voices in my head shout and scream, Claudine, who told you to climb this hill? Don't you know that we walk like heights? You did it this time. You bit off more than you can chew. Oh no, I can't turn back now, it's too steep. I already came this far. I must continue. I need to continue no matter what. I heard my friends in the distance calling and shouting my name. Claudine, are you okay? This is it. This is my chance to get rescued, preferably by an emergency helicopter. But wait, Claudine. Deep down inside, I knew that I had to do this alone. My pride and stubbornness would never let me live this down if I don't give it my all. Yes, I'm okay, I shouted back. I'm fine. I'm just taking a short water break. Yeah, right. We all know what's going on. I am barely making it. Any second now, I will be in the middle of a full-fledged panic attack. Gather yourself together. Gather yourself together. I gripped the ropes with both hands like my life depended on it, because it did. This was a matter of life and death. I held onto the rope and I slowly lift up my left leg. And I pull myself forward. And I lift up my right leg. And I pull myself forward. Slowly but surely, I was pushing ahead. Yes, girl! The voices in my head started saying, you got this, you got this, you will make it. I felt my courage building one leg at a time. I was climbing, I was making it to the top. Mr. Contestant, fellow Toastmasters, have you ever been in a hot mess like this? Feeling as if you have bitten off more than you can chew? As if you can't seem to figure things out? We have all been there, haven't we? The college student who can't seem to keep up with that exam. The mother who on her own has to raise her children even though she is exhausted. The employee with a looming deadline who don't have enough time to finish the assignment. And of course, a Toastmaster that have to write their speech for the International Speech Contest. Well, I am here today as living proof to tell you that you can make it. Yes, all you have to do is push and you will reach the top. And when you get there, the sensation is amazing. Yes, I shed a few tears and I even lost my shoe But guess what? On that day, I led to the top, and so will you, Mr. Contestant.
1 minute for the judges. Timer, let us know when the time is over.
Will do.
We'll now hear from contestant number 7, Shakira Hopkinson. Can you please turn on your camera and your microphone? Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can. Oh, wait, no, wait, I can't. Yes, I can.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Shakira Hopkinson, shine your light. Shine your light, Shakira Hopkinson.
Do you want to play a game of never have I ever? Never have I ever walked into a room and immediately made myself small. I have. Never have I ever talked myself out of an opportunity because of fear. I have. Never have I ever passed an opportunity to shine my light. I have. Esteemed judges, fellow Toastmasters, contestants, and welcomed guests. Good afternoon. Would you like to know how I discovered my light and how you can be a shining star like me? Firstly, recognize that there is a light within you. This was the hardest part for me because I have spent years upon years of molding myself to blend in. So much so that when the time came to actually stand out, I could not. I could not see how I was different from everyone else. And I guess that is expected because how could I have seen what is special about myself when all I did was hide who I really was? It was Mariam Williamson who said that it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Can you believe that? I felt attacked because I was guilty of this way more than I would like to admit. I didn't get to be the prefect I wanted to be because I was afraid. I didn't get to be the martial artist that I wanted to be because I was afraid. I didn't get to be the swimmer I wanted to be because I was afraid. And I could go on and on about all the things that I did not get to be because I was afraid. I realized that this trend needed to stop. I refuse to miss another opportunity because I was afraid. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, can I take you back? Can you recall of a time when you had been controlled by fear. Which brings me to my second and main point. Banish the fear of darkness. If you want to be that author, then do so without being limited by fear. Allow yourself to shine. Lastly, find your torch bearers. We cannot do it alone. My great discovery was cool and all, but it definitely would not have been possible if it wasn't for my family and friends. It was my loved ones that made me see the talent, the light, and the awesomeness that was hidden inside of me. Through them, I have found what made me, me. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I could not have said it any better. It starts with you feeling inspired, then you will inspire others, and those others will light it up for others. And all it took was one person to light that chain reaction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I am not you, and you are not me. I can never shine like you, and you can never shine like me, because we all shine differently. One thing is for certain, we all shine, and we are all allowed to shine. Think about how bright it would be if all 7.753 billion people shine their light. Can I count on you to be among that 7.753 billion people shining their light? Can I count on you to banish the darkness of fear? Can I count on you to let your light shine? Contest here.
We will now have 1 minute of silence in order to allow the judges to mark their ballots. Madam Timer, please let me know when the time has elapsed.
Toastmaster Lizzy Santiago is there.
Yes.
Toastmasters, okay. Do you see the time?
The camera is not letting me, somebody, the host has to let me turn on my camera. Okay.
You don't see the timer?
I see the timer, yes.
Okay, correct. Contestant number 8, Lizzy Santiago. The speech title is The Presidency. Contestant number 8, Lizzy Santiago. the presidents.
Have you been trying for some time, struggling, trying to create something with little or no result? Is it a business, a family, a healthy body, extra money to travel? When do we stop trying? Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is a story about my two nieces, Nicole and Michelle. They are sisters. Nicole is the oldest, and she is 28 years old. When she was 14, I received a call from my sister Nilsa. Lizzy, can you please help Nicole with her presidential election speech of the 9th grade? She is running again. I said, okay. When is it due? Tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? Something about Nicole. Nicole ran for her 6th, her 7th, her 8th grade, but was never elected president. Here she is, trying again to run for the 4th time. This time, she is going against the most popular girl in school. I remember arriving at Nicole's home that night. There were a lot of posters, beautiful posters for her campaign, a whiteboard with a list of activities. I was still standing when I asked Nicole, why do you want to be president? She just said real quickly, because I do. Nicole, why do you want to be president? Don't you see? I have great ideas for activities, for socializing, for fundraising. I'm going to ask you again, Nicole. Why do you want to be president? Why are they going to choose you? She looks at me. She takes a deep breath and a little upset says, you must understand, this is our last year of middle school. We are going to high school. The lessons are going to be more difficult. This is the year we have, so we can get together, have activities, so we can remember each other forever. Now you answered my question. You talked from your heart. And that is exactly what you're going to do tomorrow. You are going to talk from your heart. After a few recommendations, I asked Nicole, can you see yourself winning? Can you visualize winning? I need you to see yourself getting in the car in the morning, putting up all your posters. I want you to see yourself talking to your classmates. I want you to visualize everything that's going to happen tomorrow. I want you to hear the applauses. I want you to feel the hugs because you are going to be elected the president. Can you do that, Nicole? Okay, she says. The next day, I receive a call around 4 p.m. Titi, I did it. I did it. I talked from my heart. I talked from my heart. I almost couldn't finish my speech. I was about to cry. Everybody was crying. We were all hugging. Nicole, beautiful. But did you win? Yes, Titi, I won. I won, Titi, I won. I won thanks to you. Thank you, Titi. She was so excited. It was a beautiful moment for her and for me. A few years went by, and I received another call from my sister Nilsa. Lizzy, can you please help Michelle with her 6th grade presidential election speech? Okay, when is it due? Tomorrow. Tomorrow? Here we go again. Michelle, why do you want to be president? Michelle, with her big, beautiful eyes and her hands on her waist, looks at me and says, I don't care. I don't want to be president. That's my mom. She's the one that's forcing me. You can imagine how that election turned out. She's now 23, and that was when she was 11. So cute. Michelle never ran again until the 10th grade with the help of her sister, her older sister, Nicole. The idea of me helping Nicole that night and her using it to help her little sister inspires me. Tonight here, all of us, most of us are like Nicole and Michelle. We have tried and we have tried many times, but have not yet succeeded. When do we stop trying? Are you following your dreams or somebody else's? There's a higher purpose to your life, a special contribution that only you came to make. I have learned that we all play a special role. There's something that only you are uniquely fitted for. Do you know your why? Your heart's why. Align with your heart. It will guide you to the actions you need to produce the results you want. Visualize every day as if you already have living, or you're already living your dreams and your goals. Visualize every day. Never give up, never. Let's all become the presidents of our dreams for ourselves and for a better world. Countess Chair.
1 minute for the judges. Please, timer, let us know when the time is over.
Our next contestant, Jefferson Rosalia, can you turn on your camera and your microphone?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you see the timer?
Yes, madam.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Jefferson Rosalia, Misty Mambo, Jefferson Rosalia.
This is not happening to me. Why me? Why? Contest chat, Toastmaster, guest. That guy was me at the age of 21. You see, till my 20, I possessed the most beautiful hair of the whole world. But at 21, I've discovered that when I woke up in the morning, I saw my hair on my pillow. My hair loss continued, and at 23, it became like this. Bald. Can you imagine me, 23 years old, no hair? That was a disaster. I was devastated. I used to walk around with a cap. I did that because I was full of shame. My shameness continued till the day that this 9-year-old boy taught me a lesson. His name, Orland, alias Kuli. He was the son of my sister, Myra. He was my nephew, my son, my best friend. He was my everything. We used to greet each other with a kiss in the forehead by saying, "Mi stimabo." Mi stimabo is my native language, Papiamento, and it means I love you. I love you. One day, Kuli was playing with his brother. His brother threw a stone which accidentally reached him right here in the middle of his forehead. Something strange happened. He started nosebleeding. He continued nosebleeding. That wouldn't stop. So they sent him to the doctor. He can check it out. He don't know. The doctor sent him to the laboratory for tests. At that time, I was working as a lab technician at that laboratory. And guess what? We discovered that he had leukemia, blood cancer. His suffering started. Hospital in, hospital out. Hospital in, hospital out. When he was in the hospital, he had to stay isolated and no one were allowed to enter his room except his father and his mother. The hospital had to make a huge exception because if Uncle Papi could not visit Kuli, Kuli would not eat. They even sent him to the Netherlands for chemotherapy. I remember the day that he came back from the Netherlands. I was there waiting for him anxiously. I wanted to hug him. In my opinion, he had suffered too much. But there he came with the biggest smile I've ever seen. He kissed me on my forehead and he said, "Mr. Mabo, Uncle Papi." I thought to myself, how can this be possible? You are sick, you are suffering, you are completely bald, and you are happy? 2 weeks later, he entered the hospital again. Routine checkup. I will never ever forget that date. February 4th, 1983. I visited him at the hospital. We played games, we hugged each other, we laughed, we had an amazing time together. When I was leaving, he kissed me on my forehead. Looking me straight in my eye, he said, "Me estimavo." Next morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, I received this phone call. "Hello? Papi, can you come to the hospital urgently?" "What happened, Myra?" "It's Orland. He's ill." I dropped the phone. Ran as fast as I could to the hospital, opened the door, and very late with his father, his mother, the doctor, and a nurse. "What happened?" "He went through a crisis last night and he will not survive this one." The doctor replied. I grabbed his hand and I said, "Kuli, it's Uncle Papi. Now open your eyes. Kuli, let's go home. Kuli, wake up. Don't die. Wake up, Kuli. Wake up. Wake up!" He took his last breath. He loved me so much that he waited for me to die. Very late, completely bald, but he died happy. Since that day, I concluded to be happy is a matter of loving yourself just the way you are. And becoming bald was one of the best things that could ever happen to me. Why? Well, the most successful people on this world are bald. For instance, the richest man of this world, Jeff Bezos, he's bald. winner of the World Championship of Public Speaking, Aaron Beverly, bald. Considered the sexiest man of this world, Dwayne Johnson, bald. And now, the happiest man of this world, Jefferson Rosalia. Oops, it's me. Oh yeah, I am bald and I am happy. I'm happy because I decided long ago never to walk with shame again. I'm happy because every morning I step in front of my mirror and I tell myself, Mr. Mabu. I'm happy because after loving my Savior, I love myself just the way I am. Toastmaster, guest, I'm happy because I found myself within myself just by telling myself, contest chair.
We will now have 1 minute of silence to allow the judges to mark their ballots. Madam Timer, please let me know when 1 minute has elapsed. Thank you.
Contestant number 10, Sephora Pierre-Louis. Toastmaster Pierre-Louis, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Do you see the time?
Yes, I see the time.
Okay, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Contestant number 10, Sephora Pierre-Louis. Being done doing. Contestant number 10, Sephora Pierre-Louis. Being done doing.
Look around. What do we all have in common? Our belongings, our family, our friends? Indeed. Look around. What do we all have now that soon will be expired? Our health, our life. Although we don't know what tomorrow holds, we have hope that we will live a long and healthy life. Look around. Again. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests. When I was a very young girl, my dad was a consultant, and he was working remotely for different companies in the countryside. I didn't have a chance to see him every day. So every time he comes home, it was a big celebration. Daddy will not miss the opportunity to bring me all the goodies that I love. He will play with me and we'll have a lot of fun. I remember my first birthday cake at 5 years old. It was blue, the same blue as the dress I was wearing that day. I remember we had plantain and fish, Daddy's favorite dish. Daddy kissed me and said, as usual, "See you later." And I would not dare imagine that it was going to be the last day that I would see my daddy. Daddy was gone forever. I only have left to cherish every single moment we have spent together. My mom was left to take care of me. She will have many jobs to make ends meet. She instilled in me the love for education, and I will embrace different studies because I wanted to make her proud. As I was about to graduate from high school, my mom went to bed and she had a stroke. She died at 45 years old. Besides missing her deeply, I miss the moment that I have not ceased to spend quality time with her. I miss the time that we have not spent talking, playing, and suddenly as a young girl to get her wisdom to guide me into adulthood. I miss simply being with her instead of doing so many things that at the moment she was gone did not matter anymore. Later, I was chasing my dreams, studying, working, and when I became a mother, I missed good times with my 2 daughters when they were very young. Because I spent the most of my time doing than being. I was too busy to have time to be there for them, to play and being able to enjoy good times with them. And the fatigue due to the overload of work let me falling asleep in front of the TV instead of being able to be there for my daughters at the right time. I still remember the look at my oldest daughter's face, disappointed that the conference will not allow me to be there for their first dance competition. I can still hear her voice saying, "Mom, will you be there for our first performance?" But at that time, I could not miss this conference. Today, I don't even remember which conference it was, but I will always remember that my daughters won the competition and they look around the room for me to share this unique moment with me, but I wasn't there. And in a lapse of time, my little girls have grown to become beautiful women and they have left for college. So life has taught me that we can't do everything. We can't be everything. This state belongs only to God who created us, human beings, not human doings. I have learned that I have limits. Life has taught me to value the essential. Today may not be perfect. It doesn't need to be. Let's choose to look at the glass half full because we don't know what tomorrow holds. And what would be our greatest regrets if we have to suddenly leave this world? Would it be not to be able to go to work or not having been present for our loved ones? Wisdom has taught me to slow down the pace because I can't fight with the time. People may forget the gifts we have given them. Society will replace us in our position, but our loved ones will never forget how much we have been there for them. Therefore, today is the right time to enjoy your children, your spouse, your friends, your colleagues. Today is the day to love in action. Let's give time to time because there is a time for everything. Let's learn to take a break to have good time and let's enjoy our tomorrow in the present. Let us transition from being less human doing to become more human being by taking the habit to go on vacation time to time, to play and to laugh. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, today I'm paying forward the wonderful time I've had with my dad, with my toddler Yolanda, by spending good times with her. I make the most of her childhood to play too, to have fun and to redeem the time. Look around. What do we all have in common that will be soon expired? The present moment. When I was young, I thought I could win against time, but I lost the race. This is why I'm inviting you all to take advantage of the time we have now while it's time. Let us make the decision today to enjoy each moment deeply. Let us cheer together. Contest cheer.
1 minute for the judges. Timer, please let us know when the time is over.
We will now hear from contestant number 9, Finley Joseph. Can you please turn on your camera and unmute your mic?
Yes, can you see me okay?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you. Can you see the timer?
No, I can't.
Can you see the timer?
No, the camera, I only see you. I guess I see a border around my screen, which is yellow, but I don't see the timer.
Are you in speaker view or gallery view?
Speaker.
Can you do the gallery view?
I'm in gallery view and I can see the timer now, yes.
Wait. Are you ready?
I am.
Finley Joseph, don't wait. Don't wait, Finley Joseph.
And just like that,
Madam Zoom Master, did we lose our contestant?
contest here, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and contestants, good evening. Sarah, married with 2 kids in a very pressure-packed environment, was not your typical Toastmaster. As a matter of fact, she didn't do anything typical. She rarely attended Toastmasters meetings. And when she did, she was amazing. After the meeting, she would come up to those that spoke and say, "Great job. I want to be just like you someday." One night, the executive team was struggling to find a place to host a very urgent board meeting. They made a plea to the audience for which Sarah was in attendance. Quickly, Sarah put up her hand, among others. The executive team was so astonished by her ability to make herself available that they immediately chose her to host this event. And as we cheered and applauded her in true Toastmasters fashion, she said, wait, hold on. I only got that request 5 minutes ago. Please temper your excitement. I was the first one to arrive at Sarah's apartment that night. And as I stepped in to her living room, it was immaculate. Everything in its place and everything had a place. I could even smell the potpourri coming through the exhaust vents of the air conditioning units. I turned to Sarah and said, "Really? Temper our expectations? You did an amazing job." That is when Sarah took me by the hand and slowly pulled me towards her pantry. As she opened the doors, what I can only describe, and yes, this is a technical term, I saw a train wreck. Books everywhere, balls, kids' toys, unfolded comforters. I even saw a half-eaten donut way in the back. I said, what? Sarah looked at me and said, all of that was right out there minutes ago. I said, how? And she said, don't wait. Take every opportunity to be with the ones you love. That night, Sarah put on an amazing meal fit for kings. Well, vegetarian kings, because Sarah doesn't eat meat. But luckily, I carry my own bacon bits and hot sauce. Don't judge me. It was amazing. And at the end of the night, I said, Sarah, where did you get all of this food? She said, well, actually, I'm responsible for a potluck at my work tomorrow. So I decided, what the hell? I said, but what are you going to do tomorrow? She said, tomorrow. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't wait to be with the people that you love. It was shortly after that that I heard Sarah had been diagnosed with cancer. This friend of mine was in trouble. I decided I would reach out to her. The first week went by. I had an amazing excuse. Week number 2, 3, 4, 5. It wasn't until my disgust and disappointment for my procrastination did I pick up the phone and call Sarah. Sarah said, Finlay, hello. She said, you heard, didn't you? I said, yeah, Sarah, I did. I said, Sarah, do you have a minute to chat? She said, well, I'm at the hospital right now. The doctors have left, but we can chat until they come back. This was the only time in my life that I appreciated red tape in the medical community, because what I thought was going to be a 5-minute conversation ended up being 30 glorious minutes. Sarah said, Finlay, that's why I left the Toastmasters chat group, because I needed to focus on my health and my family. It's an interesting thing that happens when you're speaking to someone who has their priorities set. It puts you in a space, and that's what Sarah did for me, because during that conversation, I was able to tell Sarah how much she meant to me, and in turn, she told me how much I meant to her. At the end of the call, I said, Sarah, I want to send you some flowers. What do you think? She said, well, because of my compromised immune system, the doctors are saying you got to send them big. I said, Sarah, what do you mean big? She said, do you mean big flowers, big petals? Is that what you mean? She said, no, big bouquets. And as I was writing this down, because I didn't want to get it wrong, all I heard was, ha, 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 ha. And I said, Sarah, are you using your health to get me to buy you bigger flowers? Do you not have any shame? She said, no, because that is what you bring out in me. Don't wait for the ones that you love. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, my lesson that day with Sarah and the challenge that I have for you tonight is simple. Whether it's friends, family, or frenemies, don't wait to be with the ones you love. Mr. Contest Chair.
We will now have 1 minute of silence to allow the judges to mark their ballots. Timer, please let me know when 1 minute has elapsed. Thank you, Madam Chief Judge. We have heard from all the contestants with their speeches. We are now going to go to the interviews.
Toastmaster Wook, everything is okay?
Yes, it's okay. You may proceed.
Okay. Okay. Let us find out more about our contestant now. Which club, area, division do you represent? We will now proceed to interview our contestant and present them with their certificate of participation. Our first contestant, contestant number 1, was Walco. Toastmaster Walco?
Hello, PTA and Patrick.
Okay, could you introduce yourself, your area, your division, your club?
Yes, I can. My name is Ingrid Armstrong Walcott, and I am the president of the Eastern Orators Toastmasters Club in Barbados. Ours is the biggest and best club in Barbados.
Oh.
We are a member of Area 14, and I am the representative from Division C.
Okay, could you tell us in a few minutes, about 1 minute, the best quote you love and you sign for us and the paper? Your best station.
Well,
do you remember?
The quote I probably use is, "We're all meant to shine as children do," because there's a beauty to children, that innocence, it's wonderful. I'm a teacher, so I spend every day laughing with children, loving children, nurturing their growth. So I see children shining and I see children at their best. And I believe that we shouldn't just shine when we're children, that we can shine all the time. It was a quote from Marion Williamson. She did say that we are all meant to shine as children do.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Wook, do you have another contestant? Thank you very much, Toastmaster Walker.
You're welcome.
We will now present Toastmaster Walcott with her certificate of participation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Walcott. Our second contestant this evening was Toastmaster Tavon Blake. Toastmaster Tavon, can you open your camera and your microphone? Are you there, Toastmaster Blake?
Yes, I'm here, but I would like the privilege to open my video. Okay, wait. Okay, all right, thank
yes, Tavon Blake, we can see you.
Great.
Can you introduce yourself? Let us know your division, your area, and your club.
No problem. So I am Tavon Blake. I am a member of the Dynamic Speakers Club. I am the representative for Division B.
Thank you. We have some information on you. We learned about your hobbies, the person who inspires you the most, and your favorite quote states, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me." With 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, can you elaborate more on this favorite quote of yours, Toastmaster Blake?
No problem. No, growing up, I have a very encouraging mom. She would always encourage my sister and I to always try our best, to always participate in different activities, to go out and explore, learn different things and gain different skills. And one of the things that she would always say to us is that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And from a very tender age, it helps us, or helped me, and helping me even now, to continue to take on different challenges, because I know that with the strength of Christ or through him, I would be able to accomplish anything I put my mind to. And that's why it's my favorite quote.
Thank you, Toastmaster Blake. We are now going to present you with your certificate of participation.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Contest Chair.
Another contestant, Lennox Saley. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how are you today? Are you okay?
Yes, we are very okay.
Okay. Could you introduce yourself for us, your club, your area, and your division?
Right. I am from the Nepoyo Toastmasters Club, which is physically located in the eastern area of Trinidad and Tobago, and I am in area 30.
Okay. Only a man who is willing to go too far can know how far he can go. That is your best code.
Yeah.
Could you explain us more about that?
Certainly. The thing about innovating and being different and breaking the mold and not doing the same things that everybody else means going too far. And when one looks at the history of invention, the history of innovation, it's always the people who are willing to go too far that made a difference. And I believe I want to be one of the people who will go, quote unquote, too far. I do not believe in following the typical formula for anything. I believe that innovation is the key to change and progress.
Wow, thank you. We will present you your certificate of participation now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next, thank you. Our next contestant is Deidra Anastasia Richardson. Yes, can you please unmute your mic and let us know some information about your club, your division, and your area?
My club is Sugar City Toastmasters Club in St. Kitts in the Caribbean.
Thank you. And on your sheet, you stated your best quote is, "A man's gift, make it room for him and bring it him before great men." And that comes from the book of Proverbs 18:16. In 2 minutes, can you elaborate more on this quote, Toastmaster Richardson?
My gift is my ability to speak, and this gift unlocked my potential and it opened doors for me. This gift would take me to places where money would not be able to take me. This gift caused others to be influenced by even by the words that I speak. It helps me to add value to people so that I can be able to push people, encourage them to fulfill their greatest potential.
Thank you. We will now present you with your certificate of participation.
Thank you.
Now we are to move on to Toastmaster Jerusha Manuela, contestant number 5. Toastmaster Manuela, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yes. Could you introduce yourself quickly, your club, your area, and your division?
Okay, so
My name is Yerusha Manuela. I'm a member of the USA Toastmaster Club. I'm part of the Division A, and my area is area 5.
Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. Your best coat. Why?
Why? Well, it's easy. I love to prove people wrong because I'm young. I still have a lot of journey to go along my way on my path of life. So along my path of journey, I've encountered a lot of people who have challenged my skills and my potential. Like, oh my God, she's too young. I don't believe she can do that. So always I just put that phrase in my head, like prove them wrong, and I do whatever cost it is just to prove them wrong. And it just brings me such satisfaction in my life that I just keep doing it. So that's why I just love that quote. Back to you, dear.
Okay, now we have to present you your certificate of participation.
Okay. Thank you.
We will now hear from Toastmaster Claudine Beaubrun. Can you please turn on your camera and your microphone? Toastmaster Beaubrun, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
State your division, area, and club.
Division 81, Area 44, MedTech Toastmasters Club, St. Martin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Beaubrun. You know that the person that inspires you the most is your mother. And also your favorite quote is, if you get tired, learn to rest and not quit. If you get tired, learn to rest and not quit. That is so important. Can you, in 2 minutes, can you elaborate on that quote?
Yes, you know, a lot of times we face challenges in our lives and it seems overwhelming. And sometimes it comes to a point where you feel as if, you know, this is just too much for me. I really can't do it. But then when you just, you know, take a little break, sit down, maybe give yourself a couple of days to think about it, even speak to someone about your situation, before you know it, you pick it right back up and you have all the energy in the world to be able to succeed. And that has been my motto in life. And guess what? A good break always gives you the stamina you need to be able to accomplish your task.
Indeed, Toastmaster Beaubrun. We are now happy and pleased to present you with your certificate of participation.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Hopkinson, are you there?
I'm here.
Toastmaster Hopkinson.
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Toastmaster Hopkinson, quick introduce yourself quickly, your club, your area, and your division.
Okay, my name is Shakira Hopkinson, and I am from Area 50. My club is University of Guyana Toastmasters Club, and I am from Division G. Yes, Guyana.
In my view, Toastmaster Hopkinson, you just a good quote, aspire to inspire before we expire. How can understand that?
So I wanted a short and impactful quote, and I found this one: aspire to inspire before we expire. And I believe that everyone have something to share, and there's a lot of persons with talents and lights that they don't actually let it shine. And so I would like to inspire persons to aspire and reach their goals before they cannot do it anymore, before they expire.
Wow. Alors, now we are to show you your certificate of participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Toastmaster book.
Thank you, Dete and Patrick. Our next contestant is Toastmaster Lizzy Santiago. There she is. Can you tell us which club are you from, Toastmaster Lizzy, your area and your division?
Yes. I come from the Division G, Area 33. I represent Puerto Rico Toastmasters. You are muted.
Thank you. It states that what inspires you most is personal development. 2 minutes. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, like you said, I am passionate about personal, professional, and spiritual development. I believe we all have the potential to live our dreams. That's why my favorite quote is, the best way to predict your future is to create it. We all have the tools. We might not know it, but we all have the tools inside that we need to reach the goals we want.
Indeed, we do, Toastmaster Lizzy. And at this point in time, we are going to give you your certificate of participation.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Patrick?
See, contestant number 9, Jefferson Rosalia. Are you there, Toastmaster Jefferson Rosalia?
Yes, I'm here.
You okay?
Yes, I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Not like you, but I'm fine.
Me too.
Toastmaster Jefferson Rosalia, could you introduce yourself quickly, your club, area, your division?
Okay, my name is Jefferson Rosalia. I belong to two clubs in Bonaire, on Bonaire, Flamingo Toastmasters Club and Choco Advanced Toastmasters Club. And our area is Area 81 and Division H.
Toastmaster Rosalia, it is better to be a small boss than a big servant that you
Yes, it is.
white like your best coat.
Yes, it is.
Could you tell us more?
Yes, I can. You know why? Because I've worked as a lab technician for almost 38 years. And after that, I started my own company. And now that I own my own company, I have experience that it's better to be a small boss than to be a big servant. That's the point.
Okay, now we go to show you your certificate of participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Contest Chair. Good to know.
Dete and Patrick, we have 2 more contestants of you. I'm now going to ask Toastmaster Sephora Pierre-Louis to please introduce herself, her club, her area, and her division.
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair. My name is Sephora Pierre-Louis, and I am from Division D, Area 18, and I'm a member of 2 clubs, the Bees Toastmasters Club and Club Avancer les Pionniers.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sephora. We know that you're a very dynamic person, you're very active, but we also know that what inspires you the most is to make a difference in your community and for your people. In 2 minutes, can you elaborate more on this?
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair. I do believe that we are not only physical beings, we are also spiritual beings, and we are on a mission while we are on this earth, and we need to leave something when we are going to transition to the next world. For that, I believe that where we are planted, this is where we are given to impact it positively. So I believe in impacting my community to become better. I believe that I need to leave my footprint for the youth, for the people who are watching, who are following me, so I can be a good example for them, so I can lead them to the right direction, so they can follow their dreams and also accomplish their missions.
Excellent. Thank you, Toastmaster Sephora. We are now going to present you with your certificate of participation.
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you. Our last contestant, Finlay Joseph, contestant number 11. Toastmaster Joseph,
Hi.
are you there?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Toastmaster Joseph, your name sounds French.
You know what? I'll take it. It's actually Irish, but if it's all French to you, I'll go with that too.
Okay, could you introduce yourself quickly, your club, area, and division?
Yes, I represent the Grand Cayman Toastmasters Club, Division K, Area 54. We are approximately 22 years old as a club.
Do what others want so that you can do what others can't.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, that quote is from Gordon Ramsay. He's a financial advisor and he talks about how to plan, but I think it applies to all aspects of life, and I'm sure you do as well. Or one of my competitors, Toastmaster Lizzy, who spoke a couple of before me, said something really important about the journey for personal, professional, and spiritual development. I think that speaks to that as well, because unless you're willing to focus and study and become familiar with those things when others won't, then you won't be able to achieve your goals in life. And so that quote is something I live by daily.
Okay, thank you very much, Master Joseph. Now we are to show you your certificate on participation. Good luck.
Yes. Thank you very much. You guys spelled my name correctly. I love it.
It's a pleasure. Toastmaster, it's a pleasure for us, Venicia and I, to manage the international speech contest. Now it's the judge turn, the chief of the judge, to present to us the result.